Hello guys, welcome back to the next tutorial. So this is kind of the last one for the method section. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at the exercise that I created for you guys. So basically just consider this as your homework, and I'm gonna show you. Maybe pause the video or stop it, and after that, so let me just bring up the PDF. And so after that, so this is the exercise. I'm gonna go over it. So after that, when I explain the question, just try it. Just try to implement this in Python in your IDE. And then once you try it, if you have any difficulties, then just proceed on the video because I'm going to show the solution also in the same video. So let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. So the purpose is we're going to find the tax in United States based on the state where you live. So this is kind of a thing that we want to do, and we're going to assume few things. This is not a real exercise for the tax department, so don't worry about the rates and assumptions. We're going to assume few things. So the task is that create a method which takes the state, the name of the state where you live, and the gross income that you make as the arguments. So it basically takes two arguments, and then it's going to return the net income after deducting tax based on the state. So it's going to deduct the tax of the state tax and the federal tax as well, and it's going to return you the net income after that. And we're going to assume the federal tax rate as 10%, which is crazy. I know if it is that, then everybody would be happy, but let's assume it. And assume the state tax on your wish, whichever you want. So in fact, you're free to assume the federal tax as well. It's just a guideline. And because we're just exercising, we don't have to consider all the states. You can just take 3 to 4 to just solve the purpose of the exercise. So that's pretty much it, guys. I would say recommend you guys to either pause the video or just close it for right now, and then practice on your own and then return back to take a look at the solution. So let's start with the solution, guys. So basically, if you see this page as well, the PDF, on the next page you're going to find the complete solution as well. So but I'll not go through on the PDF. I'll just open the PyCharm so we can take a look in more better coding style, right? So this is PyCharm. The file will be definitely attached so you guys can see always. The exercise is there as well. So let's take a look. What we did is we created a method called calculate net income, and I'm just trying to do so. In this one you're going to learn pretty much a lot of things, not just methods. I have kind of keep things in mind that I want to show multiple stuff in these things so you guys can understand a lot of concepts, and you can test your lot of concepts knowledge that you already gained in this course. So the first thing is take a look at the naming convention. So I'm using camel case for the methods. You guys can use the underscores and all small depending on the preference, whichever you like. And then in the method I take two arguments. First one is the gross, which is the income, right? And state. It could be either way, doesn't matter. The sequence, it could be either way, the order doesn't matter. And then we have the doc string. So we mentioned that this calculate the net income after federal and state tax, right? So it's always good to put the description of your methods. That's always recommended. At least I would always recommend it because I like my code to be easy to understand by anyone. Then it takes parameters. So this is param, the gross param is gross income, and the state. So a small description about the param, the parameters, and the state name, and it returns the net income, right? So let's then define our state tax. So as I said, we're gonna assume few things. So state tax value, I'm creating a dictionary if you see. So we use the concept of dictionaries as well. So CA is the key, and the state tax is let's say 10%. For NY, I'm putting 9%. For Texas, I'm putting 0, as I think it's 0 in Texas. And for NJ, it's 6%. So basically, it's all arbitrary values. There's nothing for real. I'm just putting up values, making up all these things. So we have utilized the concept of dictionary here, and we're going to see how we can use it. So first thing we know that the federal tax was 10%. We already talked about it. So we can do one thing, that calculate the net income after federal tax. The first thing we can do. So from the gross income, what we need to do is we need to find out the 10% of gross income and then deduct it from my gross income. So what I would be left is the kind of a intermediate net income after deducting the federal tax, right? So gross income minus gross multiplied by 0.10. So 0.10 comes from 10 divided by 100 because it's 10%. So if I deduct this thing from gross, I would be left with the net income, which is after federal tax deduction, right? Then we will be left with the task to calculate the income after state tax, right? So we are here. After that, what we want to do is we want to go in the dictionary called state tax, and we want to find that whatever state we provided doesn't exist in the dictionary, right? Basically someone can provide a wrong state as well, which is not even in United States, right? So for that we want to print it, the message something like state not in the list or incorrect state, please provide a correct value, something like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find out if state, the state that we took as the argument, state in state tax. So it's gonna look for the keys in the dictionary. So if it finds the state that we provided in the state tax dictionary, then it moves forward and then it finds the thing, right? So what it does is then we have a net income already. So from this only we need to deduct the rest of the thing, right? Now we're not working with the gross anymore. So from the net income we want to deduct this state, this expression, right? And this expression is from the gross income we want to calculate what the state tax is. So we will access the value of percentage for the particular state. So this state tax and the key is going to give me the value. So basically if I provide CA here, basically this, so it's going to give me 10, and then I'm going to divide it with 100, so it gives us 10%, and then we multiply the gross with 10%, and then whatever statement comes in will be deducted from the net because we already have something after calculating the federal tax. So we still, whatever we want to deduct is from the net income, right, which is calculated here. So if I provide the state as maybe NY, it's gonna say, it's gonna return the value. This statement is gonna retrieve the value called 9, and 9 divided by 100, then it's gonna say 0.09, right, and then multiplied by gross. So this gives us the value to be subtracted from the remaining net, right? So then it's gonna work. And if it's taxes, it's this statement is gonna be 0, and we will get the net income, right? So then I'm just printing out your net income after all the heavy taxes is the net income. We cast it in string. So we learn a lot of concepts, right? We learn about the dictionaries, we learn about some mathematical multiplication, subtraction, then we learn about if, and then we learn about the in keyword, then again some more mathematical expression, and then some casting to strings, and then we return the net value. So you can save it in any variable as well. After that we just do that. If that state is not in the dictionary, then we just print state is not in the list, or you provided incorrect state, or anything you want to do, and then we return the none keyword, right? So basically it's null in other languages, a lot of languages, but we return the none keyword. So in Python, because it's dynamic, it's super exciting, super flexible, we can return an integer here or float here, and we can return a none value here. It's super flexible, right? So we do that, and after that we just call our method to work. So this is an example. What I'm putting is, I hope everybody earns this much or more, so 100,000, and state as CA, California, right? So let's run this code, and I think I have to modify the file that I want to run. So method exercise is the one that I want to select and apply, and okay, and then run this code. So if I run this code, it gives me your net income after all the heavy taxes is 80,000. Why? Because 10% was deducted in for the federal tax, and the remaining 10 was deducted for the California tax. So 80,000, right? And let's change the state here. So let's see the difference. So let's put NY and run the code, and this time it says 81,000 because 10% for federal and 9% for state, right? So let's try to run them for all of them. So let's put Texas, and it should be the happy one, 90,000, because only federal tax applies. Let's put NJ. Save it. What does it say? 6% only, right? So 84,000. So pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. So I would just say I think it's gonna be really exciting. So don't worry about the calculations about taxes. The whole idea is that we wanna take a look at all the concepts that we have learned. So I think it's gonna give you a great exposure, great exercise, and I hope that you all have already tried it. So let me know if you still have any questions, and stay tuned for the next lectures, guys. Thanks for ending this one.